Example, Act 1 begins from page 1 to page 48, Act 2 from page 49 to 84, and Act 3 from page 85 to page 120. Now we're going to look at the various episodes that are evident in these acts. In Act 1, Episode 1, Preparation for Christmas, begins from page 1 all the way to page 8. 2, Mrs. Linda in Town, from page 8 all the way to page 23. Episode 3, Act 1, Krogstad visits Helma, page 23 to page 31. 4, Krogstad visits Nora, from page 31 to 43. And the last one, Helma comes back, from page 43 up to page 48. Now that marks the end of Act 1. In Act 2, we have Episode 1, Nora and the Nurse, 49 to 51. Episode 2, Nora and Linda mend the dress, from page 51 to 56. And then Episode 3, Nora tries to convince Helma to retain Krogstad at the bank, from page 56 to page 62. And then Episode 4, Dr. Rank's feelings towards Nora, from page 62 to 70. Episode 5, Krogstad visits Nora, page 70 all the way to page 77. And Nora tells Mrs. Linde her secret, from page 77 all the way to page 79. And Episode 7, which is the last one in Act 2, begins from page 79 to 84, where Nora uses delaying tactics to keep Helma from going to the letterbox. Now in Episode 3, there are only 3 acts, actually the shortest. The first one, Mrs. Linda's betrayal, from page 85 to page 81. Episode 2, Nora evading the truth, page 91 to 98. And lastly, Nora's defiance and issues with the bond, from page 98 all the way to page 120. Now the mastery of these pages is important, because when students can relate particular episodes to pages, then they will know what happens before, during, and after these episodes. The mastery of the background information based on every episode helps the students to quickly and cleverly, precisely place all aspects of a given excerpt in the right corner. When this is done, the student will score full marks. Normally, a student should be careful to identify the exact answer to the question that is given by the examiner. For example, if you look at an excerpt in A Doll's House that begins from page 39, where Nora says, Papa died on 29th of September. Then Krogstad says, that is correct. I have ascertained it for myself. And, as that is so, there's a discrepancy. Then Krogstad takes a paper from his pocket, which I cannot account for. And then it continues all the way to page 41, where Nora says, nonsense, trying to frighten me like that. And then the excerpt ends there. And then you're given questions like, place this excerpt in its context, explain the thematic concern in this excerpt, what are the styles used in this excerpt. And then there are grammar questions like, add a question tag to this sentence, of course drawn from the excerpt. You can also be given questions based on inversion, where you're asked to rewrite the following sentence beginning with the following words. So you can also be asked to give another word to replace a word from the particular excerpt. And lastly, you can be asked what happens from elsewhere in the text that shows a given trait revealed in that particular excerpt. Now, how do students get this excerpt right? What can students do to get the excerpt right? When teaching excerpts, teachers are advised to help students master the episodes. When they just see that Nora is talking to Krogstad about being retained at the bank, and then immediately after that, Krogstad leaves, the student will immediately know that we are still in Act 1. And then if they know that in Act 1, where does Nora and Krogstad talk about each other? Then they can easily place that this indeed is episode 4. And in that episode, Krogstad visits Nora from page 31 to page 43. And then in their mind, they'll also know that after episode 4, in episode 5, Elma returns.